Oh, all right. So what we're looking at here to me looks like a Rolex. Is it Submariner?
It's a Submariner with holes in the lugs, and it's
So the holes in the lugs means it's probably 70s, 80s.
yeah, it's pre-transitional, so it's got a 30, 35. It's pretty dirty,
What's
but
the movement on these
30,
ones?
35. I just told you.
Okay, and it's missing its bezel.
It's the reason the customer sent it in is because we need a bezel insert, a click
Okay,
spring, and the little washer. But take a look at the hands.
hang on. I'm going to come in super close and have a look at them. Let me look at the hands myself.
Look at how bad they are at the pivot.
Bad in corrosion.
Yeah, bubbled.
Okay.
We'll figure it out, but he might need new hands. But
The loom looks good though for its age. It
yeah,
hasn't yellowed.
we're gonna end up living with these hands.
Oh, hang on. This is the tritium loom, isn't it? Let's have a look. Has it got a little T by the Swiss
Let me check.
at the bottom where it says Swiss? Does it
Yep,
say T25?
yep.
So this is tritium loom, which means it probably doesn't glow much anymore, but it hasn't gone yellow, so it looks really good.
Okay,
Nice.
let's flip it over.
All right. Let's flip
Dial
it
looks
over.
good, but
Dial looks
I
fabulous.
don't make comments on the dial till I see the dial.
Movement looks nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too upset.
Remember copper tweezers?
Copper tweezers.
You don't want to scratch the rotor. There's your 3035.
So we've done a separate video on a 3135.
Yeah.
Is there much difference between these two from a servicing point of view?
Some dramatic differences, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Construction. Yeah, it's not the same movement. Yeah. The 3135 to me apparently is a complete redesign movement. Remember, you've got a double bridge on the 3135, and we've got a traditional balance cock on the 3035.
Mm.
So right there you've got a difference, but it is a free sprung hairspring, so you regulate it at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, there's our regulation screws right there,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do that later. By the way, we haven't videoed timing regulating the 3135 or the 3035 because the watches we finished servicing were running perfectly.
Yeah, after they've been lubricated, they were literally
Right,
plus or
but
minus two.
we will do a video on microstella
Okay.
and regulating without a regulator. Yeah. So let me just take the automatic bridge off. How's that?
Okay, yeah.
So I don't have my finger pots on, so I'm just not going to touch anything. Same screws, by the way, some of them. The screw count's different on a 3035.
As in, there's more of them or less of them?
There's not 11 or 13 of the same. Yeah. Screws are longer on the automatic module.
The rotor looks good. It doesn't look like there's any corrosion or any scuff marks from it spinning.
Oh.
As an observation, compared to the 3135, it seems a little bit less decoratively finished, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not as fancy. Yeah. So those are 3 screws for the automatic module. Comes up pretty straightforward.
That comes up pretty easily.
Yeah, automatic module layout is similar. There's a trick to putting this ratchet driving wheel in later. You'll see that it's wobbly. So what you got to do is you got to put it on the bench block and make sure that this sits in a hole
Just right,
so you don't break the pivot. Yeah, you can break it. And I've broken it before, by the way. My first time.
So that's the automatic module out of the way. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. So now,
oh, there's our traditional Rolex.
Here's some grime here coming off of see this jewel?
Yeah.
That's a dual purpose jewel.
One in the middle.
It serves as a jewel for the seconds,
So
and it serves as a jewel for the axle. Okay. Tell me what to do if you want me to bring this over. But see this tip of this, the auto axle there?
Oh, hang on, I'm going back over to the module, yeah. Okay.
It rides, this pivot rides in that jewel.
And when I zoom in, is what we're seeing there, is that a little bit of oil and grime?
Grime, yeah. It'll come clean.
Are you going to pre-clean that or let the machine deal with it?
Oh, I'm going to pre-clean everything. Look, we got some grime there. It'll come off. There we go. Look, oil and grime. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then remember that your ratchet driving wheel sits in this jewel here as the pinion drives the ratchet wheel.
Okay.
So the watch has not been serviced for like 10 years or more, and he's aware of that. But the job started with getting him a new bezel and bezel insert.
And the bezels will be aluminium, won't they? They won't be the ceramic ones they have on the more.
and really expensive.
What are we talking for a new bezel that's genuine Rolex?
Oh, the bezel is like in the hundreds, and the bezel insert is also like at least 300 for an original, but you probably won't find one in perfect condition.
So are you looking for a second-hand one, or can
The
you
customer,
go to Rolex and get a brand new one?
no, the customer has agreed to an aftermarket set. So we're going to service the movement, and then when the bezel set comes from Texas, wholesale parts at 900, something like that.
Oof.
Very reliable vendor. We'll go ahead and put that in. See, I gently take the balance out.
Yep.
And I need you to be doing this soon. Now you can see, can you come over?
Yeah, I'm going to.
You can see how concentric that hairspring is.
Yeah, I'm going to come in super close. So what you're saying there is that the distance between each round of the spring is very, very even, which
Each
tells
coil.
us it's in good condition.
I'm saying
And
that
it'll
from
be accurate.
I'm saying that from my visual perspective, that hairspring is
great.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And although you're putting it out the way, you're actually going to reattach that later for cleaning, just to keep
We're going
it
to put
safe.
it on the main. I'm going to put it on the bare plate. Yeah. Yeah. Now we got to let this watch down. So since we have a traditional click, I'm going to stand. Now see how I'm using the crown to wind the watch a little bit?
Yep.
I'm going to grab that click, and I'm going to let the
zoom in.
watch unwind. But see, the watch is dirty.
Whereabouts do you say it's dirty?
I'm saying in general, the watch is not unwinding very well because it's dirty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now I'm going to test the palette, see if there's any power in there that I want to get rid of. See that pallet's not snapping? It's snapping a little bit.
Yeah, it's not going forward and back.
Yeah.
It's kind of resisting.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take the pallet out. These two pallet bridge screws are similar to the two on a 3135. And I'm taking them out gently. I'm going to set them aside in this group. Yeah, and there's not a lot of power in there, so I'm just going to take this bridge up, and I'm not going to go crazy here. I'm just going to gently get him up. Yeah, and he's kind of down there. Come on. Actually, it's actually on there quite.
There you go. You kind of heard something clicking.
Yeah, that came up a lot, and.
Oh, I heard the power go down then.
Yeah.
So now it's freed itself
There
up.
wasn't a lot of power to release, but this bridge was quite on there.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we don't break the pallet.
Are we worried that might be a bit of corrosion or something's
No,
gummed it a bit?
no. It was just well seated. We'll take a look at the bottom. I don't expect a lot of dirt.
No, it doesn't look too dirty.
Can you see the jewel?
Right at the bottom in the middle.
Well, there's lint, and it's not my lint. Where'd that lint come from?
I don't know.
Can you see the lint?
Right in the middle?
At the jewel. Right here? Can you see that lint
I think
right
so,
there?
yeah.
Can you get in there?
Yeah, I'm right in there now on ×10.
There's the jewel. If you look at the end of my reticle, there's a piece of lint in there at the pallet. I mean, it was there all along. I mean, so the guys had that in there for forever. So the pivots look good.
Is that the pallet fork coming off?
Yeah.
You're looking at the jewels on the end of it?
Mm-hmm. I was looking at everything.
So look.
And I position it so I can see the reflection on the impulse faces.
Okay.
I'm looking for chips.
You're looking for smoothness.
Mm-hmm. I see oil on the end, so we'll set it aside.
So
We'll clean it. No, I can clean the fork too, by the way, if you stay with me. I'm going to try to work from a distance so you can get a better...
So you're going to give the fork a quick pre-clean now?
Yeah, I'm going to dab it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So fork to putty instead of putty to fork.
Mm-hmm, because it's so small. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start really tearing it down. Now, you just... going to get the movement out. Now, this is also a movement that has these case screws that you back off on. They were loose, by the way. Yeah, so...
Can they work themselves loose, or is it usually a sign of a sloppy service last time?
Yeah, they do work themselves loose. I'm going to use the end of my tweezer. I spread my tweezers to get the crown out. There. crown out. Set him up there. So now we're going to take the movement and pivot it around. Now, a little bit of concern when the movement doesn't want to rotate. And you go, see that it won't rotate?
Yeah, it doesn't spin, even though the crown's been disengaged or disconnected.
Yeah, the first thing I say when I hear
Is
that...
there a screw maybe still that's not loose enough?
Yeah, but I also think, geez, did it
have a bang?
Did it have an aftermarket dial that's maybe too thick?
Oh, right, so something's...
But we're good.
Oh, there you go.
I just needed to loosen my screws more. Yeah. And here, and then we'll just gently flip it over. Yeah. Now we
get to see our dial.
I'm going to get rid of the case. Get rid of the case back.
So put them out of the way.
Get rid of the automatic module. Okay. Now let's take a look at this dial. It's beautiful. It's matte.
Yeah, I actually prefer the vintage matte dials.
Guess what?
Go on.
There's a little patina on the dial, and with your light, I almost got like a dark blue out of it, but it is black.
I'm going in. It looks to me like a really nice matte
And look,
black.
see that now you can see the rusty bubbling on the hands.
Oh, I actually now that the I can see the dirt coming off it as well. So now that the crystal's out of the way, even with this camera, I can see both the dirt and also the bubbling round that centre bit. Is there anything you can do for that?
Nothing.
It's kind of a mirror finish.
No.
So new hands, which could cost a fortune. Am I right in saying that these hands, I think they're finished with white gold, aren't they?
I don't know, but look at that. We got some paint patina here around the window.
Yeah.
So we're
But although it's part of the charm of these older watches is that they age quite nicely.
So we were talking about an older watch here.
Yeah. The only thing that surprises me for a watch of this age is A, how great condition it's in, but B, that the loom doesn't seem to have yellowed at all.
Some guys like that yellow, right?
I know, everyone gets very excited about it. I don't. I like to be able to see my watch in the dark if I'm going to pay all that money.
Now remember, I'm not going to pick the hands up. I'm going to flip them over.
Yeah, which keeps them from being bent or put out of shape at all.
Okay, and
you
I'm
can
just
actually see how the loom's applied from the back there. Look.
Get them out of the way. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right, let's go get this.
So the next stage is to take the dial off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are a couple of screws around the sides, around the edges. Yeah, actually this is we're sort of 15 minutes in now, so this is a really good point to stop for part one. So please like and subscribe and look out, there'll be attached the part two to this disassembly as well.